You've just entered the law offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. If you've come for actual legal advice, you need to turn right around, honey. You need to get out of here, 'cause you ain't gonna get none of that. They quibble, and they squabble, and they bicker. But if you want to hear meaningless opinions, this is the right place. They got plenty of that. Stuff that makes no sense at all. They go off on tangents. It's crazy talk. If that's your thing, keep listening. They'll keep talking.
Oh no no, oh no no, it's another episode of the law offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. You've entered the law offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. Yay!
Welcome back to another episode of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker on this February 24th, 2021. We have probably the most memorable guest we will ever have on our show today.
Here.
His name is Matt Gwinn, and he hosts the podcast The Adventures of the Albino Rhino. And he's going to be helping us address our current client, We Are All Narcissists, at some point during this particular program. And what we're going to do is just let Matt take over for a little bit. Tell us whatever the hell you want to tell us, man. That's all you know.
Welcome.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on the show here, allowing me into the insanity. Grateful you guys came on my show. We had some fun, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're going to make you cough.
No, that's medication.
We should just cough in brotherhood with him so that he doesn't feel like.
No, that's all
right.
I'm sure the listeners are gonna love that. So yeah, like you said, I host the Adventures of the Albino Rhino. It's an adventure because I'd talk to anybody. I'm just a crazy fucking guy, comedian, who likes to fucking shoot the shit with people. It's kind of to prove a point that anybody can talk to anybody else and remain relatively civil.
So you say you could talk to anybody else and remain civil?
Correct.
Do you try to maintain the civility, or do you push the buttons to see if you can drive it over the brink of civility?
Just have a conversation with people. I mean, there's no desire to push it towards that. Even in my comedy, I'm not like a current events kind of guy or political, any of that kind of shit. So I don't naturally gravitate towards those kind of conversations, although they do happen.
Yeah.
It's just, man, I'm not interested in showing people more ugly. Really.
Okay. So you're basically just being a nice person.
You're the anti-Matt Broadsheet.
Hey.
No, I'm just talking to people. I mean, you know.
You do like to push buttons, Matt.
The point kind of the show is like, for example, I had Flat Earth Dave on my show, and
Flat Earth Day, that was one of our first topics.
Yeah,
kind of, sort of Flat Earth.
I mean,
we got into that.
Dave is pretty.
You had Flat Earth, just to clarify to Matt, you had Flat Earth Dave, who's
Correct.
an individual within the Flat Earth community.
Oh,
Flat Earth
Dave. Oh, I thought it was Flat Earth Day, not Flat Earth Dave.
I thought he said
Is Flat Earth Dave associated with Angry David?
It's a human being.
No,
although he probably does have more frequent Angry Davids than most standard people.
I think most Flat Earthers have a lot of Angry David days.
Yeah, probably
a 30-day cycle.
I mean, I still have no desire to talk shit about the guy. I mean, he's just the kind of person I am. Just, it sounded plausible until he started talking about NASA red lighting people, basically, like in Men in Black, whenever they crawl up on the ice wall of Antarctica, to make it out of our little pond here. I don't.
So you're saying that Antarctica is the end of the world where everybody falls off the edge?
No. So Antarctica is actually like the beginning of the rest of the world. So as opposed to Antarctica being this continent at the bottom, it's actually this large ice wall that surrounds all of us, and we're
Right.
basically like islands floating in this large lake.
Islands
That
in
makes sense.
stream.
It's kind of a Game of Thrones almost kind of thing that you get to the edge of the flat disc, and then there's this giant ice wall, and it's fascinating stuff. We should have Flat Earth Dave on our show.
Flat Earth Dave.
Should we do it on Flat Earth Day?
I don't know that there's a Flat Earth Day.
It's got to
I'm
be
sure
in
they-
conjunction
I'm
with
sure
Earth
they have
Day.
one.
You know,
I'm
it's
absolutely
like
sure that they
I'm
have
sure.
one.
I'm sure they probably do, Matt. I'm sure they probably have a day,
they
but
don't have a globe; they just have a pancake.
oh yeah.
Oh, you're using the mug that we have with their name on it. Look at that.
I just talked to Maria and she was bummed about that. She doesn't see the mug enough. Good work.
She is upset because we don't have the mug on enough.
Yeah, she wasn't upset, but she was like, "Oh, I wish you guys used those mugs." And I was like, "Matrez, I can't fit enough bourbon and Coke in that small mug."
The mug. I view the mug every time we do the show. It's always in arm's reach. Actually, it's like right here. See, so it just went.
What kind of awful bourbon are you putting Coke in?
That's the only kind of bourbon he drinks. Is the awful
McCormick's.
kind. He drinks Angry David bourbon.
Oh Jesus!
$16.55. $16.55.
That is not bourbon, Greg. That's American blended whiskey.
You're right. It's blended
basically whiskey made out of the Quaker Oats container.
No, it's only because it wasn't made in Kentucky. It's the same shit.
How can it be the same?
It's not.
It's not. It's not the same. I'm not a bourbon person, but that is not bourbon.
No,
Calling
That's a
that
hangover
bourbon,
waiting
you've
to
lost
happen.
your freaking mind.
that's like calling Colonial Club vodka.
Or like what is that? 150 proof stuff.
No, it's like calling slavery white
Everclear,
privilege.
that stuff's
is
some
what it
good
is.
grain whiskey right there. But that's grain whiskey. It's not.
Look, Matt or Greg, to put it in perspective, it's like calling Green Arrow Green Archer.
Oh God, that's stupid.
No, Greg,
I would
it's like
never do
calling
that.
slavery white privilege. It's basically that much of a divergence between bourbon and what you're drinking.
Wow.
Not even
Wow, you
close
took
to
it
the
there,
same.
didn't you?
That's.
Well,
I mean,
you
that's
know,
harsh. But that
That's
McCormick's is pretty harsh.
It's like
Right.
calling the Holocaust a picnic.
Why is it?
The trip across the desert was just an afternoon hike.
yeah.
I just had to double down on that one. Sorry.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like calling the Armenian genocide of the early 1900s a cakewalk. If we're going full-blown genocides, why not?
Oh, everyone's getting bummed out listening to this now.
It's like calling a toothpick, a minty toothpick. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
good.
perfect.
Speaking of which, I want to bring it back because we had mentioned it that we really, prior to getting started today, I think cross some serious important ground in terms of coming up with a name, defining from a brand perspective the male period.
Angry David.
The Angry David.
The Angry David.
Yes,
so
that was before we started talking.
But we've mentioned it since, so I thought
Yeah.
for our listeners who are wondering what the fuck are they talking about, an Angry David is essentially based on absolutely nothing but the four of us. That's what you should call it, a male period.
It's
I don't have Angry
I don't know
Davids
that you had to
anymore.
give anybody an explanation. It's kind of like walking into a conversation with millennials and post-millennials where they're talking about shit and you're like, I have no idea what they're saying.
I don't
know
have an
what
Angry
these terms
David
are."
anymore since I went through menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about what did you experience going through menopause?
Menopause,
Greg?
yeah.
I
Tell
had
us.
hot flashes.
Uh-huh.
My butt started to droop.
That's why he has to wear the pads.
Right.
You gotta-
That's where he
yeah.
wears the pads every week on his
And my
birthday.
nipples became itchier.
Itchier. You say itchier because that they were already itchy.
Oh yeah.
They've
I have
gotten
itchy-
worse.
I have this. I suffer this condition. It's called itchy nipples. Itchy nipple.
Yes.
There's no
Isn't
cure.
there-
What's the scientific term for that, Greg?
Isn't
This
there
is
an
what's called.
ointment?
Itchiest
I have to
nippleless?
put ointment on every day. I have to apply it or get someone to put it on for me. That's the best way.
Do you like go to find homeless people in your neighborhood and ask them to put it on for you?
And neighbors. I knock on neighbors' doors.
It's like, it's that time, friends.
Could you put my nipple ointment on, please, again? They love it. It's fun for them. They like it.
Yeah.
Well, I think
can
that's a
see
good
that.
time to break into like letting Matt talk more about his podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't do anything cool like
Make sure you really sell it.
Stuff. It's a good conversation. I mean, really, it's a part of a larger sphere of media that I've expanded into. I mean, the podcast is just there's also some music that I've started producing. Some comedy shows I'm going to be producing. There's a
What kind of
tour
music?
I'm working on. House music, man. I used to be a DJ whenever I was younger, and I don't know. I kind of just like I didn't want to do it for the past couple years, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. What the hell else am I doing? I mean,
could you define house music for me? Because I've heard the term over the years, and it still doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know what it is either, to be honest.
It's
I mean, it's music you play in your house, which could be classical rock.
Well, the beat is simple, right? It's generally between 125 and 145 beats a minute.
Wait a second. Do you have to get actual like red beats?
That's my heart rate.
Well, no, I mean you get like a sack of beats that from like the grocery store.
You could.
And then
it wouldn't really help the music, but I mean, you could, I guess.
I don't understand the beats.
It would help your digestion.
Could you have used like turnips instead of beats, maybe?
No, because that has to go do,
Oh, and that's the sound beats make when you throw them at my head.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I want to throw a beat at your head right now, Matt.
But
if I could, I'd throw a radish at your head right now.
Oh, a radish. Fine. Yeah. Bring out the small weaponry.
No, I'm going rutabaga.
So are you doing this all on your computer, Matt, or are you like working with other musicians, or it's all like techno-y, like sampling things?
I'm doing it all on my computer.
So house music, you're saying, is it just has to do with like dancing type music?
Yeah, it's dance music basically.
Okay, got it. But it's different because it has vegetables involved.
Well,
it's vegetables and funk and horns.
Yeah, it's different. God, you're such a boomer sometimes, Matt.
If only I was. I'm Gen X, man.
Your boomer is showing.
Well, that's my angry David.
Is it your angry David?
Yes.
Then it's okay.
It makes you think I'm a boomer. If I'm a boomer, you're a boomer. Wouldn't you like to be a boomer too?
Boomer too.
Which just proves you're a boomer that you know that phrase.
And you didn't?
I'm a boomer. And I didn't know what house music was either.
Boomers end at 1964. Anyway.
I never knew what house was exactly. I knew it was a dance music, but I never got the difference between like techno or house or.
Well, yeah, I think
rap or trance.
Matt Gwinn should kind of go through. There's house, there's dubstep, there's a lot of different types of electronic music.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, dubstep is just a different style. A lot of it centers around the beat. Techno's more is a lot more closer to industrial, which would be like 9 Inch Nails, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit dirtier, I guess would be a good way to step. There's some stuff that's called two-step, which is like do 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 do.
Isn't that country music?
You can put country music in it, sure.
Okay, well, I mean, because two-step is generally associated with country music.
Correct. The dance itself, not the style of music.
Oh, there's so many styles. I'm so out of the loop.
Mr. Gwinn, I apologize in advance for Matt Baracci's Angry David. He's got an Angry David going on, and let's just
mine
call
is
that
not
what
monthly.
it is.
Mine is constant.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it happens to some people whenever they're not. I've heard it happens mostly whenever you don't masturbate enough.
That's for sure what Matt's problem is.
So, I mean, just in case you weren't aware, Pornhub is free, correct?
I've heard of it.
Yep.
Or you can go on YouTube and go to RedTube.
There is RedTube.
Let's
But
not
apparently you
get,
have to get there from YouTube.
There's
Yeah.
X Hamster.
Yeah.
X Hamster is a good one.
X Hamster?
X Hamster, like the letter X and then hamster.
Okay.
That one gets real interesting sometimes.
Greg, you should look that one up.
I will. You know, I like both kinds of music, drum and bass.
And X
Has that
Hamster?
joke ever been made before? Isn't that a genre, drum and bass,
Yes, it is.
in the dance field?
Yes.
The dance field.
So what's that? Is that like it sounds? All it is
That's
is
well.
drums
So
and
it's
bass?
basically mostly the music is created out of drums and bass.
That's it.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like atmospheric drum and bass. There's different kinds. There's vocal drum and bass. There's all kinds of different subgenres once you hit like a genre of electronic music.
So do you
But drum
actually
and bass
like
in general is just drum, like, you know, large amounts of drums. Like, imagine, have you ever seen Lars Ulrich's drum set in Metallica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, imagine him basically making a fucking song out of all that massiveness that he has.
Even using like all the weird instruments, like the timpani and the cowbell, and
yeah,
Yeah, all
Anything
that
on a drum
weird
kit.
shit.
weird
Yeah.
instrument.
so was Front 242, or is that techno, or is that industrial? Is that the first when it became more dancey,
I'm
techno-y?
not sure.
What are you talking
Okay.
about, Greg?
It's just this band I always remember hearing about, but I never quite, when I was trying to suss out what this whole techno, all that of the genres
You
were.
were sussing it out. Did you call anybody and ask them?
Yeah, I would ask, but you know, music, people have different opinions about like what a genre is, like grunge. Do you remember asking people what's grunge? Oh, it's this
Oh.
band, or
I
it's this band, as long as they're from Seattle. That's what grunge was.
All I remember, and you probably remember this, Greg, was the 75 flavors of what hardcore was.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, you couldn't say there was punk music, there was punk, there was straight edge, there was this, there was that, there was that. That's, for me, that's why I have a little, I guess my respect for the techno music is it's similar in that it's that kind of thing. It's like we would all, not being connoisseurs of the music, would go, oh, it's just all whatever, techno music, and just call it that. Just like back in the day, they would go, oh, it's punk music, and you're like, no, fucking Minor Threat is not punk. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Same sort of thing.
So,
They would call-
Matt, so are you combining this music with your comedy and with the podcast all at the same time?
No, it's just something else I'm making for people. I
oh, I
put out
gotcha.
I did like a 15-minute comedy album not too long ago that was like my favorite bits from 2020.
Wait, you have favorite bits. Can we ask for one bit?
Sure. Let me think
It's
of
your
one
favorites.
that would translate.
To English?
No, to not being on a stage. Well, okay, so I mean, I'm a family guy, which is, I guess, not obvious by my studio, but I got 2 kids, 2 cats. One of them's fat.
Kids or cat?
The cat.
Oh,
One of the
okay.
cats.
Stop heckling.
Her name's Susie. She's very large. She basically weighed more than my daughter until my daughter was about 3. I think she's a good 25 to 30 pounds roughly. The thing with Susie is like she can no longer really properly clean the backside well because she can't reach. She's too fat. So we have to help her. And lately I've kind of noticed that whenever we're scratching back there or something, or we're brushing her, like she aggressively licks her paw. And I mean aggressively as in like she's taking her whole paw and going and like shoving it, you know what I'm saying, like in her mouth. And it was weird because that's weird, I think. Called the vet, make sure we were fine. In case you guys don't know anything about cats, they exhibit odd behaviors whenever they're sick, right? So I called the vet, explained to her what's going on. She said it's cool, it's fine. It's just a sympathetic response. Basically, she really appreciates what you're doing, and because of that, she enjoys it so much she has to let it out somehow. So she's aggressively cleaning herself. And I was like, so what you're telling me is I'm basically masturbating masturbating my cat. And she hung up the phone. She hung up really fast. That was actually the last time I've talked to my mother-in-law. It was really nice. And you know, guys, to be honest with you, if I was known it was easy to that easy to get rid of my mother-in-law, I'd have told her I masturbated my cat a long time ago.
Nice.
Well, better the cat than the mother-in-law.
I know. I was afraid he was going to go there. I was like, oh
No,
shit.
no.
I think that's a good lead into the rum.
Rum's
A
fun.
commercial.
Pause.
Let's have
Yes,
our first
commercial.
commercial.
So
What's the
I
first
was
commercial?
letting Matt know that last week we had a guest on, and it was Sherry Nelson, who's a model with Maxim, and she's also an ambassador for this rum, Gubba Rum, out of Massachusetts, and she sent us all 2 bottles of rum, and so we were going to do a reveal today, except Greg did not get any. So,
Yeah, apparently she didn't like me as much as you guys.
yeah,
I
well,
guess.
it's just harder to get to you.
She
So
You
you
have
got-
your
Chicken that
American
brought
blended
that was
whiskey.
like, I'm not wasting this fucking rum on that idiot.
I
No
know.
offense.
So I
Just
have a
saying.
box with this stuff in it. So Greg, this is what you're missing. You're missing this piece of cardboard.
Which you
It's
can
like
soundproof.
it's like an unboxing thing on YouTube.
It is, and yet it's like it's because of my background, things go in and out of sight.
Yes.
So that's one bottle. That's another bottle pulling out of here, and then this is the rest of the box, which you can't see either. All right, box.
Yeah.
There's a box. Okay.
It's cardboard.
Matt, do you get a lot of free swag from your guests?
No, this is the first time we've gotten anything.
I'm not talking to
So-
your Brachi. Remember
Oh,
your Brachi?
Sorry. So
No.
this-
No.
No.
the bottle.
So this is Gubba Gold, which is the vanilla rum,
Uh-huh.
and then
Then there's Gubba Silver, which I'm trying to show.
yeah, I'll do it. Here's Gubba Silver, which is the coconut, your traditional coconut, and it actually, I don't know if you can see it.
You're a traditional coconut.
You're a traditional. Your mom. It's got like I can't really show it to you, but there's like coconut flakes in the bottle.
Coconut flakes. Well, then that's perfect for Greg, the whole flake part. How do you
Yeah.
open? So have you figured out how to open this thing?
Well,
Yeah, you screw the cap.
No.
which one are we opening first?
I think we're opening both, are we? I don't know how to open it though.
There's probably a tab that you pull on. You know,
There's
where you-
not. It looks like it's covered in electrical tape.
Get a wrench.
a hammer would
wrench?
also work.
Yeah, hammer.
Hammer.
Break it on the edge of
Here-
your coffee table.
Here
Hammer
you
don't
go.
hurt 'em.
Oh, hold on, Matt. You
Yes.
see this little tab?
Oh, here. Okay, a little
And then you
thingy.
See,
Pull
I
it.
said, man, and you're all like, no, there's not. It's just
I just didn't.
electrical taped.
I don't do a lot of drinking.
Mr. Gwinn, he's an amateur.
What am I?
An amateur.
He's
Sherry,
sober.
It's got a
Sherry,
green-
well, time out. Sherry Nelson just appeared.
Get out.
I know. I'm that house
Sherry.
guest that just won't leave.
It's like, how did she know we were opening the bottles right now?
I have no idea. That's what got me distracted. I was like trying to show Matt how to open a bottle of liquor, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is that Sherry?
It's last week all over. Geez, you guys are making me feel like I bootlegged some underagers here if you don't know how to open that.
Oh yeah,
I
I
think it's
look
good for
really
us.
young.
I think it's good for responsible drinking because if you're really drunk, you can't open that second bottle and you get alcohol poisoning.
So we need to
it
introduce
tough.
Sherry. This is Matt Gwinn. Matt hosts a show called The
How's it going?
Adventures of the Albino Rhino. He's got over 100 episodes in the tank of his particular show. He also does music and comedy, and he was kind enough to let us sample the rum on his time. But so we have to figure out which one do we do first, Sherry, since you're here, and welcome.
Welcome,
No, I
Sherry.
don't know. Is it possible to pour them both at the same time in two different glasses so you can do a taste test? I wish I almost could have blindfolded
Well, you know,
guys.
I do have this mug that I've never used.
The
I
one
just
that-
has
the
our
one that
name
people
on it.
complain that you don't use more, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
It's because there's
I-
dust in it.
I just poured the
But the alcohol will kill the dust. Quit being a pansy and just
don't-
drink.
Hey, I
Yeah.
can never stop being a pansy. Tell me
What are
to
you on?
quit.
You're Angry David or something?
Yeah.
Remember, every day. We already covered this.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
you're right.
So
I should pay
Sherry-
attention.
Sherry is unfamiliar with Angry David. All right, so I'm gonna pour the
Greg.
Do you guys like my erotic shot
Gubba
glass?
Silver.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, so
So
I
I'm
poured-
doing the okay.
Gubba Silver in one.
I've
I'll
got
do-
the gold, which is the vanilla. I'm just doing a straight up shot. In my I homeschool my daughter, and I'm the science teacher, so my shot glass.
Keep
is
this
the-
away from your 10-year-old.
There you go. There we go.
All right, so I've got the silver in here, and I've got the gold in here.
Matt, you got your bourbon ready?
Your bourbon,
Yep. Some
Yeah.
actual bourbon, Old Forester.
Well,
as opposed to
86
Greg's Holocaust whiskey.
Oh, fancy pantsy over here, Mr.
Wow,
Fancy
there's like
Pants.
actual coconut flecks in this rum, like
Yeah,
literally.
that's what he
like-
said. Jesus, none of you guys paid. No wonder you quibble, squabble, and bicker. You don't pay attention to each other.
Hey, wait, what did you just say?
Exactly.
Thank you, Gwinn. That's what I've been saying all along. I said that. The
Oh yeah,
vanilla,
Brendan has said that all along, forever, for years.
well, Brendan, how is it?
the vanilla is fantastic. It's got a little bit of a kick. I don't do a lot of shots.
Because it has alcohol in it.
No.
Is that what
You know what?
gives it the kick?
You know
Oh,
what?
Greg chased it.
I want Matt
Yes.
to. No, time out. I'm not going to say anything. Matt needs to drink. Everybody, drink.
Okay,
Matt,
so which one am I
drink.
doing? I'll
Matt,
let you guys decide. Do I do
who
the
gives a shit?
silver or the gold? The one
Double
with
fist.
Do the
Double
gold. Do the
both
gold.
the same time? All right, so the gold is the vanilla one, right?
I,
Do I
get
just shoot
get
it?
a funnel
Yeah.
and put it in your mouth and just pour them both in at once.
That's actually really good.
hmm
Oh, Brendan.
It's got a lot of vanilla to it.
It's got
Brendan,
a lot of.
Wow,
Or Brendan, I was going to say, put the bottle up to the screen for the
pretty
endorsement.
sweet though.
Sherry, do you want to do
What's
like
in
a
this
little
thing?
commercial tag now?
It's wicked smooth, baby.
It
Only
says
real men drink Gubba rum.
it's like no other vanilla rum
course
you
it
have
is.
ever tasted. Is wicked smooth. This artisanal small batch craft spirit is a cane-based rum infused with natural vanilla. Drink Gubba Gold vanilla rum neat or use it to make your cocktails the most delicious ever. Get infused with a wicked smooth spirit. Get Gubba vanilla rum. Well, if you have the bottle, I guess you've got it. That would be really good, weirdly, over like a dessert. It's almost like a liqueur,
Yeah, it has
Tastes
a
like-
liqueur kind of a
like
no,
a consistency to it, right? Sorry, I'll try the coconut one now.
Well, they say that the rum actually, if you're not a fan of sweet desserts, the rum,
Yeah.
either flavor will tone down the sweet. For some, it's bitter or too harsh.
Sherry, I think the mailman stole mine. I didn't get it yet.
No.
So I have to drink bourbon.
It's not
sorry,
bourbon you're
Bourbon
drinking,
whiskey.
though, Greg.
Sorry.
It's,
Quibble.
it's
Sorry,
Holocaust
Quibble.
whiskey you're drinking, Greg.
Sorry.
It's just every time I
Oh.
hear you call it bourbon, I'm like, I don't even.
You need to hit him.
This is making me want to just cry.
yeah.
It's alcohol
go-
abuse.
Go back to your dubstep music, Matt. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I'm good. I don't like the dubstep.
He doesn't do dubstep. He says
Oh, I thought it was the
house.
same thing as house.
Well, thank you for
It's
trying. I
same.
don't want you to take over Matt's time. So, anyways, thank you guys for taking a
Sherry,
drink.
thank you so
Hold-
much
hold
for
on,
popping
hold on.
in.
But
Hold on.
Sherry, you can't go just yet. Sherry, you need to know something. Your episode currently has the most views of all of our episodes on YouTube. And a matter of fact, it has almost more views than we've had like listens to the podcast itself. For some reason,
Entirely.
you went
Double
like
up and you're drinking it to a 10.
I think that you don't need anybody to drink you to a 10.
I'll see you in 10 shots. No.
Yeah, I think it's your the thumbnail I used on YouTube is what. But yeah, because the other person we interviewed that day has gotten like 7 views, and you've had over 1,000.
I think it was no buffet, no bud comment.
What was that? Did your dad like that one?
No.
He didn't like the,
Stop talking about me. I don't want hate mail from Vegas. So
like the entire city's gonna come after him for not coming because of no
no,
buffet.
he's adorable. But
I have to say that the coconut is really good, like exceptionally good. And I'm not a coconut fan.
I do like a coconut rum.
Yeah,
But
no,
I'm intrigued by the flex.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
them in there. It's like they shaved and then
You can't.
did other
Yeah.
things to the coconut.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
can
can't
see
really-
them in the
Can you
bottle.
see 'em?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see
Yeah,
'em.
there's a lot of them.
Matt, I'll send you some so you're in on the gang, and hopefully you'll
Well,
get it at the same
Coming on
time
the
as Greg.
show. I mean, if you're gonna send me your liquor, you got to at least come on my show and talk about it.
She'll come on your show.
Can I
would
bring my
hope so.
brothers?
Sure.
Your brothers?
You three.
Oh,
I mean, they can come back on if they want. Sure.
Sure.
It was an
Your
interesting
American
time.
brothers.
Yeah.
We've got a new sibling, guys.
How about that?
A Canadian sibling.
I've needed
No,
a
but they
sister
can-
for a while. I've got 2 brothers, so a sister would be great.
Well, thanks again, you guys, for drinking it on air. Matt, nice to meet you. And again, I missed you guys this week. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad that you could come on and surprise Brendan and Greg because they had no idea I was letting you on today.
No, I have no
Oh.
idea.
It was an amazing timing. I just thought it was a fluke.
It was still
you know-
amazing timing. She picked the time to come on, so it was actually perfect timing.
Wow.
And Greg, it's nice to
Amazing.
see you and not your ceiling. So Matt must be an amazing guest. So anyways, I'll leave you guys. Have a nice night, and thanks again for having.
Thanks again, Sherry.
Yeah,
Good night,
Sherry,
you
reach out to Matt. He's on Facebook, so just look under his name, Matt Gwinn, and you can
I will.
reach him that way.
I will. Nice to
All
meet
right.
you. Bye.
It was nice to meet you. See ya.
See you, Sherry.
Cheers.
And she will send you rum.
I
Quibble,
mean, I
squabble,
would
bicker, and
absolutely
lovely.
100% drink it. I mean, I'm primarily a bourbon guy, but I do like some rum. I mean, Sailor Jerry is probably one of my favorite drinks of all
Yeah.
time.
I don't even know what that is.
Do you like a pina colada?
I don't like mixed beverages.
Oh,
I drink my
I
liquor
love pina
straight.
coladas.
If
He's a
in-
drink supremacist.
kind of. In my opinion, if you need more than 2 ice cubes to make it taste good, you're fucking up. I take that back. I take that back. There is one mixed drink that I do like, but it's only because it gets you fucking ridiculously twisted. It's called a apple pucker motherfucker.
Excuse me, a what?
An
What'd you
apple
call me?
pucker motherfucker.
Apple
you
pucker
get-
motherfucker.
Right. It's
Okay.
a shot of Patron and a shot of apple pucker. You do them at the same time. It tastes like a fucking sour apple Jolly Rancher and gets you just lit.
Nice. I want one.
Oh, I have to do this.
It's really, 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 really good. And
Is
you
this-
don't like,
And what is apple pucker? Is that
Rooms
like a
that
vodka
change
or
the
something?
taste.
Or
huh?
is apple pucker like a vodka or what is
No,
that?
it's a liqueur. So like you
Okay.
get like the really strong Patron taste, and then it slides into the apple, the apple pucker because it lasts longer in your mouth than the Patron does because it's alcohol.
Right.
Matt, do you
so-
know the origin of the cocktail when they became really popular in America? You probably know this.
What the actual cocktail or that specific
Making
one?
cocktails.
Or when you put a tail on a cock?
Yes,
well,
that too.
putting
Same
tails
time.
on cocks has always been popular because of cockfighting. I mean, they realized that if you put a mace on the end of a cock, as it runs, it just slaps the fuck out of shit.
The halberd on its tail.
Yes, a halberd for the cock. It's a bird for a cock.
But cocktails became popular, like you were saying,
I
in
feel like-
Prohibition. Because in
Yeah, I would
Prohibition,
imagine because of the fucking awful fucking shit that they had to
Exactly.
drink.
they had
'cause
to
they were
cover the
mixing,
taste of this fucking kerosene they were drinking, whatever the fuck they were drinking. And
Well,
so
so
they
what
had
they were
mixes.
drinking, the alcohol that they were using had been what's called denatured. You can actually still buy denatured alcohol in like Lowe's, Home Depot, all that kind of shit. And basically, what they do is they add methanol to ethanol.
However, Gubba,
That shit is
rum
just ethanol and
is
will fuck
fucking-
your face up.
this
probably.
is fucking genius booze.
Does
and
not
everybody-
need a mixer.
Everybody
So-
should drink it.
I should read the letter that we got from the guy who creates the stuff. So this is from Stephen Gubb, who's the owner of Gubba Rum.
Is that his real name at first?
Yes, it says, it is very nice to meet you. Sherry Nelson has asked me to share samples of my rum, Gubba Rum, with you. Please, I do hope you will enjoy both the Gubba Gold and Gubba Silver, samples of which are enclosed in this package. When we say samples, though, it's a full frickin' bottle. So that's more than like I want all sample sizes to be full size. I do hope you will let me know what you think of them. I'm also enclosing a separate sheet which specifically describes each rum. After you taste them, I hope you'll agree that these are the finest vanilla and coconut infused rums in the world. Thank you very much for tasting them. I look forward to hearing from you. Best regards, Steve Gubb, owner, Gubba Rum, GubbaRum.com. So here we go. That is the promotional things. This is his business card. You can't see it because I have the weird background going on.
Good Lord, Matt, you disappeared.
He's a wizard.
I can't take it.
Into the Matrix, everyone.
Burn
Into the Matrix.
You're gonna have to
Burn the
put a
witch.
stroke warning on this episode for fucking people because they're gonna every time Matt pops into the main
If
screen.
you have epilepsy, this episode will cause you to go into seizures.
Stop doing it.
Stop.
Don't call my mother that name.
Don't call
Anyway.
me Becky.
All right, so I'm gonna do another set. So we've got the vanilla, which is Gubba Gold.
And I'm gonna do my sad.
That was a
shot.
large amount that I just had.
I just want to see Matt get
It is so
fucked.
sweet.
Wait, hold on. That
The
sounds
vanilla
like
is
a
very
porno. Is this going on OnlyFans? Because
No.
I have my own channel
Sorry.
there.
We have two Matts. I'm just saying, Mr. Gwinn. I'm just going to call you Gwinn moving
That's
forward.
fine.
So Gwinn, I'm just saying, most episodes of this show, Greg and I are drinking, and Matt never drinks because issues, home life,
Just
whatever.
in general, because I
He's
don't
like an
usually have
incel,
I don't
but
usually
with
have
drinking.
alcohol in the house.
He's like
Right.
an incel, but with drinking.
Right.
So
He's in sober.
And sober. And so the whole purpose of this episode, Gwyn, is if we could just get Matt hammered,
Plastered.
that would be.
it's really challenging to get me hammered, though.
I
Yeah.
get it. You're a big guy.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, no,
But
Greg
you
can
have-
tell you,
The
we've
rum
been
will
out and it,
absolutely do it.
yeah, Greg and I have been out, and I've gone like toe to toe with him in booze, and by the end of it, he's like snockered, and I'm like, all right, so now what?
And then he drives me home.
Because I'm like, and what happens is I often like drink myself sober. It's a really weird thing, where I get to a stage where I'm like, wow, I'm like the alcohol is like having absolutely no effect on me whatsoever, even though I had plenty. It's a really weird experience.
Yeah, I've never
So-
seen Matt be snookered, even though he's had like 10 shots of tequila in front of me. He's always just like almost the same. Like, you wouldn't even know. I mean,
Oh,
Definitely.
he's drunken when he's sober, usually, so that's why you can't tell.
Right, that could be why, because you always say that I'm the most drunk, sober person you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I need to either do this virtually or come up there, and we need to do that like what is it, Indiana Jones moment where the girl is drinking and the dude is drinking. I'm pretty sure I could drink you under the table, Matt.
I'm not suggesting that I am any kind of a heavyweight in terms of alcohol. I'm just saying that it's a weird effect, because I always stop at a certain point too. Usually for me, my stopping point is I start sneezing, right? And I start
Really?
like doing heavy sneezing, and that's when I go, okay, it's time for me to stop drinking.
Sneezing
Not because
is-
I'm like, yeah, it's a
Then you
weird
probably-
phenomena that happens to me. Is
You
I just start
probably
sneezing.
have an allergy to it.
It could be an allergic reaction, sure.
You know
But
what?
it's after a
AA
certain
is-
amount of alcohol, though, when it comes.
Like not an AA kind of allergy, just an allergy. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
some
and-
kind of
but it would present-
sensitivity.
if you did have an allergy to it, it would present differently in you than it would in other people.
Yeah,
That's one
you
of the
could-
things that
you
Alcoholics
could
Anonymous
start to get
talk about.
drunk and then all of a sudden start sneezing and not be drunk anymore because you've hit the spot where the shit's trying to fight back.
That's an interesting philosophy, and I'm willing to accept it as truth.
Alcoholics Anonymous has that thing, that list of how you know you have a problem, and I think one of them is sneezing when you drink. Like,
No,
you
I've
may have
been
a
through
problem.
AA.
Okay, I was gonna say, Mr.
I've
Gwynn.
been
I was gonna say,
been through that. There's no sneezing. It's all I'm a loser. feed me coffee and cigarettes.
No, Greg went to the AA where
I
the
haven't
fifth step
drank
was
for a
masturbate
year.
in public.
My truth or dare question is, have you ever been to an AA meeting?
Me?
No,
Yeah.
everybody.
No.
I have.
I do
I
need
haven't.
to drink the
I've been to
coconut
AA,
one now, though.
I've been to NA, I've been to Cocaine's Anonymous, I've been locked in a rehab for 2 months. Yeah, been there.
Yeah,
There's a reason why Steve calls me the Hunter S. Thompson of Ohio.
the coconut one definitely has more of a strong feel to it.
Well, then you should drink that one.
What do you mean by
Matt was just sharing with us and you interrupted him. He's doing a share.
I interrupted myself?
No, the other Matt. The
There
better
wasn't
Aha.
no real sharing. I was just making a statement.
He's sharing. He's giving
He's
to you.
he's giving us
He's
a
giving to
share.
us all. He's telling us about his life, which is fine.
Well,
And,
okay.
you know, this. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't get affected by alcohol. I'm just saying that I don't get like blotto. I don't get blackout drunk. You know.
Okay, I got it. You need
Yeah.
to take another shot, Matt.
I just had 2.
Take
I've had
another
4
one.
so far. All right, fine.
Oh,
Okay,
we're running out of
5.
time. We want to see.
Oh, we
we're
need to
running out
talk.
of
We
time.
need to talk about our client because
We want to see
obviously,
you go all Baba Ganoush on us.
you want me to become a Mediterranean appetizer.
I don't
Yes.
give a shit.
It's a euphemism for being schnookered.
Baba
Oh.
Ganoush is a euphemism.
Well, I made
Well-
it up just now. It is not.
It's a euphemism for him.
It's a.
So,
It's an angry David.
You're an angry David. So
Your
the
mother's
really-
an angry David.
All right. So
Hey,
my point
Hey,
is,
Gwyn. Oh, sorry.
no, it's
You
fine.
know that Brendan's talking, Greg. Well, that
I
was
know,
too
I'm
much
sorry.
to put in that class.
So Gwyn has attended an AA meeting. Greg, you've attended an AA meeting?
No. But I have a friend who's in AA and she tells me a lot about it. So
I
Oh, 'cause that's the same thing. That's the
Yeah.
same thing.
I have
Yeah,
a
that's
friend
the
who
same
goes,
thing.
so I know exactly what it's
That's
like.
the same as the state going, you have to go to AA meetings for 6 months.
That comes back
Yeah.
to the toothpick and the minty toothpick, Greg. It's just not the same.
I just
So-
know about it.
okay. Now, Greg, shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
So no, so I've been to an AA meeting, and
By chance or by choice?
by chance.
Okay. Just happened to walk into one.
No judge told you.
I mean, there
No
are some
judge
hot
said
women in
that.
AA meetings, and I mean, they
Nah.
are kind of easy. 'cause, well, I mean,
I'm sure Mr. Gwyn has some reality on that. I was married 10 years plus, so but yeah.
Did she drive you there?
Who?
The one you were married to?
No, I
Okay.
drove myself.
Okay. Well, that's
did
I'm
good.
you
just-
go just to see if you had a problem? You're like, is my life as bad as these people? And you had like one of those half-baked moments where like Bob Saget stands up in the back and is like, have you ever sucked dick for alcohol? Because I've sucked dick for alcohol.
I think he thought it was an artisans association is why he went.
No,
probably-
That it was Alcoholics Anonymous.
It was the free coffee, wasn't it?
yeah, it was the free coffee. It was the police stop that really motivated me.
The
I always
police-
wanted to go because I
The
heard
police.
that free
Wait,
dope.
hold on a second, Greg. We need
Oh.
to unpack this one a little. So he
Uh,
said it was the police stop that motivated him to go, Greg.
That sounds private.
Is it?
No.
and yet we just were talking about it.
I had one of those 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, it's cool.
So you
Shut
guys
up.
are all in the same boat as Bruce Springsteen, so you're cool.
I'm just saying. My point is, Mr. Gwyn understands when I say it was a police stop that caused my sudden going to, a meeting.
That was your moment of clarity.
It was a moment of clarity, I guess. It was really a moment of my wife called me on my way back from the comedy club because we needed diapers for our child because we were out. And so I was like, oh, shit, I got to get there fast. So I'm driving in my sports car, which I will never own another one again, to the fucking like CVS or Walmart, whatever the fuck it was, trying to get there to get the diapers before they close so I can get back and alleviate whatever poop scenario was happening.
And how did that conversation go with the police? I'm just curious now. The police,
Yeah. Did you explain
it's
this to
like,
the cops?
excuse me, officer, I just really got to get diapers now. And I
got a
just had a
poop
little
situation.
alcohol on the way to get the diapers. So
Yeah, well, that's not that far from how it went. I get pulled over in front of my kid's school, I might add.
Oh, ouch.
But this is at night, so whatever. But I get pulled over. The cops get out and they're like, "Where are you going so fast?" You know, and I'm like, "I gotta get fucking diapers because blah." And they're like, "You smell like alcohol." I'm like,
and you said blah again.
"No," I said, "Yeah, I probably do." And they're like, "Step out of the car." And the rest is history.
And the rest is, I've been to AA.
Did you start drinking? Did you start singing "How Dry I Am" to the cops?
That is Greg's go-to when he's been
How
drinking.
dry I am. How dry I am.
No, but for our listeners who are potentially victims of this travesty.
Our listeners who are numbered in the millions, everyone.
Oh, right.
Millions.
Good work, Brachi.
Thank you.
I had the walk pretty much down. I had various other things down.
Various other things.
No, but
you flapping like a bird? Was that one of the
Yoga-
various other things?
Yoga positions?
No, shut the fuck up, both of you. Listen to me. But Mr. Gwinn needs to comment after this. But yes, but the eyeball fucking thing where they do this.
Yeah.
That is where I fucking lost it. Am I
Please
right?
explain. I don't know what you're talking about. What is that?
Yeah,
What is
Greg
the
doesn't know
eyeball?
how to drive, so he
you
doesn't know
have
what
to
you're talking
follow a
about.
light. So what got me was I supposedly allegedly made a lane change from the far right lane to the far left lane with no blinker and then back, which I never do, ever. That's fucking crazy. I was an insurance agent for 2 years. I'm fucking scared to death of merging into another car. Like, car accidents terrify me. Whatever. Anyway, so I
Nice.
know I smell like alcohol because I just.
I think
left
we
the
all
comedy
do at
club.
this stage.
Oh, now definitely, yeah. But I had just left the comedy club. I mean, I perform every Friday nights. Well, I did perform every Friday nights. I haven't the last 2 weeks. But so he pulls me out and he's like, "Follow this shit," and I'm like, "All right, cool. Just so you know, I'm an albino, and because of that, I have astigmatism." It's like, all right.
Oh, nice move.
He said, "Where do you keep your
What
stigmatism?"
do you mean, nice move? That shit's real. I'm just being honest with the guy.
No, I'm just saying. I wish I had that.
You wish you
I
were an
didn't have that.
albino?
I
You
wish
wish
I
I
had.
had
It
like a
didn't.
skin
Trust me,
condition.
it doesn't matter, my friend, because he was like, "Walk this line," and I'm like, I definitely can't do. He was like, "Why not?"
Because I'm an albino. I can't walk the line either.
No. That was because of drugs, and it fucked up my equilibrium. Plus, I have tinnitus in my left ear, so like I have this constant ring, which also fucks up my equilibrium. I can't walk a straight fucking line, heel to toe. It's not physically fucking possible for me. So he was like,
Yeah.
he was like, "Let me look at your eyes again," and he looked at my eyes again, and he's like, "Man, I gotta give you a breathalyzer because I can smell it." And I was like, "Man, I don't really have any way to stop you, do I?"
Like, no, alcohol is because of the albinism as well.
Yeah,
The smell of
it's just-
alcohol,
this
it's like
is how we
part
eat.
of being an albino is like that is in your breath.
So he took me to the station or whatever and was like, "All right, you got to blow twice because sometimes it doesn't work."
That's what she said.
Yeah. And then I blew. It was like 0.15, I think, is what I blew. So you know,
1.5?
my wife had to come pick me up. It was a good time.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good time.
Yeah.
I can't think
Sounds
of
like
better,
a blast, guys.
I can't think of a better time in my life than calling.
Dude, it was one of the most white privilege moments of my fucking life. Like, I'm not lying. Like, so I'm sitting in this fucking he takes me into this room after the breathalyzer test, and I sit down on the bench and I cuff myself to the bench.
You cuffed yourself. That was nice of you.
Yeah. And then my wife,
Like, I'm not gonna let myself go, everybody. So,
I sat down and went click, and he was like, "All right, whatever." And he walked over, started doing his shit, and he was like, "Here, call your wife." Handed me my cell phone. I called her, and she was coming, and Then
So
whenever
he
she
didn't put
got
his knee
there-
on your neck for
Huh?
8 minutes? He didn't put his knee on your neck for 8 minutes?
No, he
That's
didn't.
nice.
Look, now, if I would have, he must know albinos can be white because he didn't conflate me with black people, which has happened quite a few times before with
People
really,
think you're
really
black?
dumb cops. Really dumb cops and other people who are just stupid think that you have to have a black parent in order to be an albino. I don't understand it, but
That is a fascinating and a weird train of thought to get to that
it's a
stage.
southern
Wow.
thing. But whenever my wife got there, he was like, "Hey, your wife's here," and I was like, "All right," and I just popped my hand out of the cuffs and got off and left.
Do you have like a double joint or something in your thumb?
No, I cuffed myself. You think I want to cuff myself all tight and shit? What the fuck?
Well, I thought that you have a cuff on your wrist and then the cuff on the thing that you cuffed it to. That
No,
he had
it
put
was
the-
just like an attached thing, and I just like put my arm in there and went click click, and I was like, "Look, I'm cuffed," and he's like, "All right."
Gotcha. That's definitely a white privilege moment.
Yeah,
Right, so
yeah.
just so everybody knows, we have not even talked about our client today whatsoever,
Rum.
and, which is perfect, which makes sense totally because the client is we're all narcissists, and obviously we've just proven this since we haven't even talked about the client because we've just been talking about ourselves.
Our new client is rum. Fuck that client. Now it's rum.
But you don't have any rum, Greg. You have Holocaust whiskey.
I know. Show your bottle again.
Which bottle? You want?
Are you trying to give people strokes again? What the fuck?
This is the coconut bottle,
Gubba Silver, the finest rum I've never
and this
tasted.
is the vanilla bottle.
I actually need to go grab more whiskey. I will be right
Gold?
back.
And silver and gold, and yet part of them disappear as I move them around into the
So-
magic that is Zoom.
Ah.
So,
All right, so
Matt,
I have actually two more shots set up in my mugs here.
Good.
I was gonna say, Matt. So it's
Yes.
time. It's time to take another shot.
All right, so yeah, I poured a little too much
I'll
in
join you guys.
the coconut one.
What are we doing, Matt? I'll do a shot with you. What are we
We'll do
doing?
I know you really like the coconut one, so we'll do that one first. Because if I do the other one, it's sweeter and it makes the I don't want to say bitterness of the coconut one. It's not really bitter. It's just stronger. It's like it feels like a stronger alcohol.
Guys, I wish you could taste this McCormick's because it's wicked smooth.
I
gotta
just
say.
hope that you don't lick that cup, Greg, because that would be incredibly perverse.
Oh, I've rubbed it against my shaft before.
Against your what?
My shaft.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were carrying halberds or spears in your house.
Fucking,
My bow staff.
you fucking stop. Just stop with that shit.
Brendan
All
gets
right.
so controlling when he's been drinking.
I know,
right.
look how big that shot is. That's not a shot. That's a fucking glass of
Well,
rum.
his is in a beaker, so it looks
I
like
know, but
more
it's
than it is.
a lot of. That's a lot of. That's a
Mine
big shot.
is, I don't know,
This,
you can't even see it.
Just so you know,
There's
Greg,
mine.
this is 1.5 ounces.
This is, I don't know how much.
It looks so big on the screen.
That's,
That's
what she said.
Hey,
I know
Yeah.
he was going to
God.
say
Pinch
that.
poke.
That's-
You owe me a Coke. Yes,
Where
sir.
are you ready?
Here, I
Oh,
gave
Quinn's
you
ready.
a guest
Shots.
who will send you
Squats.
rum.
Squats. Oh, that's
Ah.
wicked smooth. Wicked smooth.
Okay, hello everybody. My voice has changed now because of the
Well,
last shot.
for everybody else who's not drinking rum,
So you have
this
real
is-
bourbon.
this
Oh
is
my
real
God.
bourbon.
Oh, I've had that. That's good shit.
And this isn't even really that good of a bourbon. It's just a standard like everyday bourbon.
Yes.
It's called Old Forester. It's 86 proof. It's good stuff. It's
Because
good.
they stole it from an old forester.
No, it's
some-
actually
some
one of the
lumberjack and
oldest pre-prohibition whiskeys. They were actually allowed to still operate during the prohibition for medical
Oh.
purposes. 'cause
Okay.
There were
For
whiskeys that
medicinal.
were-
Because they were
Yeah, there
narcissists.
were fucking some whiskeys were used for.
You should never do
medical
that
shit.
to a whiskey.
What? Use it?
No, fuck it.
Oh no, I would if I could fuck some whiskey.
Oh God.
There's this shit called Eagle Rare that like man, it slides down your throat so smooth. If I could wrap that shit around my dick, I'd fuck the hell out of it.
All right, so narcissism is the pursuit of gratification from vanity or egotistic admiration of one's idealized self-image and attributes. The term originated from Greek mythology, where I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, narcissism or pathological self-absorption was first identified as a disorder in 1898 and featured in subsequent psychological models, Greg. Don't forget that. But, there's apparently narcissism in leadership to a large degree. And I think this is where we find out exactly who is what within this particular ideological spectrum known as the law offices of quibble, squabble, and bicker. I was going to say something else, but I said bicker correctly, so I'm glad I did. Anyway, so various different traits are lead with vision. So this is like a positive aspect of narcissistic leadership.
Yeah.
Then there's the desire to be admired, which is what Greg's all about. Greg wants people to admire him because of all of his good, beneficial works that he does.
That's why I take such good care of my appearance.
Exactly. Yes. He has a number of starstruck followers as well. Unable to take criticism. That is apparently one of the attributes of a narcissistic leader. Inability to listen. That's nearly everybody here. Relationships, which is not very specific, but leaders exhibiting destructive narcissistic behavior may not hesitate to devalue or humiliate others with no sense of remorse. Oh, I think I just labeled myself. All right, consistency is another one. Empire building, lack of empathy, being competitive, and not good with mentoring.
I always thought lack of empathy was the main thing. Like, you don't give a shit. Basically, you don't care about anyone else's feelings, or if they're hurt, you just don't care. I always thought that was narcissism, the main thing.
That is part of being a narcissistic leader, is
Yeah.
the lack of them. It's while they crave for empathy and understanding from others, narcissists themselves are not the most empathetic people. Some of the most charismatic and successful narcissists are not known for empathy. The lack of empathy can actually be a strength in times of chaos and radical change because they're not bogged down by feelings and emotions and the demands of their employees. They're basically saying, fuck your feelings. And
That'd be terrible if a narcissist was ever elected president. Can you imagine how bad
it's
that
a
would
good
be?
thing that has not happened in the recent past. Yeah,
That
we've
would
never
be-
had anybody exhibiting any of these behaviors as president.
Yeah.
I think nearly everybody. I say we are all narcissists because we all have some kind of opinion of ourselves that may be greater than the opinion other people give to ourselves. Just on some level, right? So there's something that I think everybody here feels that they're really good at and better than a lot of other people. That's a theory I have. Greg, I know you feel you know better than lots of people regarding comic books.
And I'm also really good at pleasing a woman sexually, like better than most.
That's why you're asexual.
But I don't think
Yeah.
that's not
What?
necessarily narcissism.
See, but a narcissist would say that.
No, well, I probably am a narcissist. I mean, I'm a fucking comedian. I think I can get up on stage and laugh. Like, I think people like me so much they want to listen to me talk to people for a fucking hour 3 times a week.
Right.
I probably am a narcissist. But I'm saying, like, your reasoning behind why you think we all are, I don't think is exactly accurate because
you don't want to
describing
get into my
confidence.
reasoning because that's just a black hole.
Even when he's sober, it's not that good. And now he's
Oh.
drunk.
You don't want to attack my reasoning because that's easily attacked.
I think
I'm not
I
attacking
think-
anything. I'm just making the statement.
Oh well, now you're
I'm
being
not
a
saying I'm
narcissist.
not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the rest of your statement was crap.
Mr. Gwinn, what specifically are you saying? What specifically that definition?
I think
You think-
Matt needs to take another shot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And narcissism, like almost
Oh, I hadn't done
moves-
the
narcissism
Pick up a
doesn't
gold.
exist until it becomes a problem for other people. It's almost like alcoholism. Like you can
Yeah,
drink
like
a whole,
drinking.
yeah, you can drink a whole bottle of fucking whatever, and if it never in your entire life affects the rest of your life, it doesn't fucking matter. But the second it starts creating problems in your relationships and various other things, you become an alcoholic.
So you're saying
was
is that
always
basically
envious.
mental illness is only a factor until it affects somebody else. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
No, well,
Correct. Exactly.
So
Okay,
basically, you could
okay.
be a full-blown
Because I'm
loony.
certainly mentally ill, and most of the time it doesn't affect anybody else. And whenever it does, I feel like shit.
All right. So just out of curiosity, what mental illness do you feel you have?
I'm I'm a drug addict. I know that. So
That's not a mental illness.
I
That's just-
have an addicted personality.
But that's not a mental illness.
That actually
I
is
think it is.
classified as a mental illness. It's in the Diagnostics and Systems Manual.
Yeah, no, it's a mental illness, Matt.
It's just a different thing. It's like
Okay.
it's got a physiological factor to it, is why I'm saying.
Not necessarily, no.
No?
Because the reason why I said I'm a drug addict and then changed to I have an addictive personality is because it applies to various different things. I now use that addictive personality to make productive things happen. But I could just as easily spend $10,000 in 2 months and do nothing but play Candy Crush. So I don't.
Well, that would be a different mental illness entirely. That would be like
that's still
something
addiction.
involving candy.
That's a behavioral addiction. It's still an addiction.
Okay, so are you saying you're addicted to being an addicted personality?
No, I'm saying I'm an addict that has to carefully watch how much I allow things to consume my life.
What are the things that are easily in your control, and what are the things that are out of your control?
Once I start, I can't stop.
Okay, so whenever you take a dump, you're there for days.
No.
Oh,
Well,
no,
see,
Matt.
there's something.
No,
What?
no,
Don't be
no, no,
silly.
stop.
Well, I'm
No,
just
but
making a
because
differentiation.
Stop.
No, but
stop,
because,
stop.
for example, because taking a dump takes time away from other things that I would rather be doing,
Uh-huh.
I control how I dump so it doesn't affect everything else.
Okay,
That is
so you're
part of
not
being an addict.
addicted to that.
No, I'm not addicted to taking a shit.
That's good.
I'm now addicted to being a productive individual, which is good and bad. I mean, it affects my relationships in a negative way sometimes. My wife's fucking pissed off at me right now because of my comedy career.
Because you're on the show right now, probably.
No, I doubt that.
Yeah,
But can you be
Matt.
addicted to your wife?
Matt.
No, because that's another person. That's not. That person isn't going to give me consistent feeling.
Well, you need to work on her then, so that she does.
Well,
Tell her to give you
Changes.
consistent feeling.
I've tried to get her into BDSM. She's just not. I mean,
And for those out there who don't know what BDSM is, it's obviously bulldogs, dozers,
I was talking about
shovels,
got
and
nothing.
monkeys.
phones and like
got nothing.
electricity and shit.
No, I figured it out, Greg. It's bulldogs, dozers, shovels, and monkeys.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
BDSSM or there's
No,
too
it's
many
just-
letters.
There's not too many letters. Bulldogs is one word. Dozers
what?
is one word.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
So-
What? What the
so-
fuck kind of
so-
dictionary do you use?
Yeah. Whoa. So
Bulldog is one word. I use the dictionary that has that word in it.
okay.
so I want to tell you guys, I know a narcissist. I've known some narcissists like way beyond.
In the
most.
mirror, Greg.
I know a guy who like loved to paint, loved to write songs. He was very creative. He would paint only self-portraits of himself. He wasn't very
Wait a second.
handsome.
He only painted self-portraits of himself. What other self-portraits would he paint?
Sorry, I misspoke, Mr. Quibble. I meant to say he only made portraits of himself, literally, and he'd make collages of himself, of his own photos. But he's the best guy I've ever known, like, because he's a narcissist. Like, he definitely is very pleased with himself. But he also celebrates all of his friends that he loves.
Greg,
and
you're
gives
putting
them-
Brendan to sleep.
That's
Look
not
what
a
you've done to
narcissist,
Brendan,
because he's
Greg.
Oh, I'm
he's
sorry,
still-
Brendan.
He's still, yeah, that's not.
But I find that fascinating that like narcissism is such a what a shitty trait in people. Usually I'm like turned off by those people. But there are some people who are very pleased with themselves, very kind of egotistical, but they also show love for people around them. They're not like,
Well, I mean, every
fuck
mental
everyone else.
disease has a spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. True.
I got my addictive personality from both my mom and my dad. And my dad, it showed up as alcoholism. And my mom, she is fucking addicted to this shit. It's called Fiesta. Before that, it was Loggenberger baskets. I
Wait,
mean, like,
Fiesta.
Yes,
yeah,
to wear.
Is that a
Fiesta
term for
ware.
something?
It's a company that makes glassware and clayware and whatnot out of West Virginia.
Oh.
They make. Yeah.
I like Fiesta wear
And
myself.
so you can
I'm not
have. So
addicted
you're
to it.
familiar with this, Greg? Fiesta.
Yeah. It's I know a lot of thrift store shopper girlfriends, who would be like, "Oh, I found a Fiesta bowl or Fiesta cup." It was a big score for them.
I have never even heard of this before.
Yeah.
But I apparently have not heard of many things.
Yeah.
That's
Because
all right. You're
like
allowed to be
dubstep.
uneducated. You're white.
I am very uneducated.
And you're a boomer.
Again, Gen X, not a boomer. Boomer ends
Oh
in
yeah, I forgot.
1964.
We're Gen X.
Boomer ends in 1964.
Yeah.
So I don't like it's like the people in 1962 are thinking that they're Gen X now. They're trying to get out of being boomers now. The guys from 62, I'm like, sorry, you're stuck with that label. With all those guys from the 40s and the 50s.
So they can seem younger.
Oh, so they can seem like they're not the ones being targeted by the millennials and post-millennials. Because it's the boomers. You know what one of the nicknames for COVID was, Greg?
What?
Boomer remover.
Oh,
that one.
ouch.
I heard that one.
Yeah, so it was like taking out the guys who were part of the baby boomer. But, the whole boomer thing and Gen X and Gen Y and all that stuff is just marketing tactics anyway. It's just designed to categorize people. Just like Brendan is falling asleep over there. Brendan, what the hell's going on with you?
He's drunk.
No, I'm right here. What the fuck are you talking about? You smoking in my face, motherfucker.
I'm not smoking at all.
Yes, he is.
Falafel.
Oh, Greg is smoking. Yes, that's true.
Yes, Greg is smoking.
Brendan, you're falafel right
Brendan
now.
is sounding like Greg usually does by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Greg,
Okay,
take a drag. Take a drag.
No, I'll do it off the screen.
No. I want you to do it on the screen. It's like porn for me.
It's very kind of amusing.
There's a reason you can't see his hands right now, Greg.
Yeah, Greg, come on. Greg, please.
Tell him more about your itchy nipples.
Please smoke.
Do you guys want to see a French inhale? I've been practicing this lesson.
Yeah, do it.
I like how your eyes were bugging out while you're doing that,
I almost had a stroke.
Oh, Jesus. I came.
Oh my
I came for you.
I need.
Well, that was fascinating. That was Brendan's wife coming in and beating him across the head. And he looks stunned.
Yeah, I'm stunned.
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
I need a clip of
saw
that. I definitely need a clip of that.
The look on her face was just like she wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
Do you have Girl Scouts in the house tonight? Is that what's going on? No Girl Scouts. Okay.
No, should be in bed.
I think it's the whole I came thing at a loud volume. That's probably what caused you to come.
She thought you were masturbating.
I guess because that's how I would masturbate.
I'm just waiting for her to come in and whack you on the head again.
Holy shit.
Well, I want to thank Matt Gwinn for coming here to experience that with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was fun.
Because I think without you, it wouldn't have been able to have happened. But before
why are you blaming him?
No, I'm not blaming him at all. I'm giving him credit. It's not a blame whatsoever, Greg. That was a real moment in time and space. That's something that doesn't happen to everybody, Greg. You should have something like that happen to you.
No, there's no one in my house. That's why
exactly
I don't have
my point, because you're asexual.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
I don't like wild cards. I don't like X factors in my life.
What does that even mean?
It means I like just to live like a hobbit. I know every day is going to be the same. I don't have to come home and be like,
yeah, but even a hobbit had a wizard show up in his house one day and brought 9 dwarves with him.
And that shook up his whole life. That doesn't happen to me.
And so you occasionally have dwarves show up at your house. I've seen it happen.
And silversmith for me.
Dwarves, specifically dwarves. I don't think there are midgets anymore. They're either called little people or dwarves.
No, there'll always be midgets.
What about gidgets?
Gidgets?
Little people's ridiculous.
Gidgets.
Little people doesn't make sense.
Gidget
the
was
actress?
the term for a girl midget. That's what a gidget was.
Oh no, they're all just midgets.
But yeah, it's kind of like, we could get into the whole thing about what are derogatory terms, and little people consider midget to be a derogatory term. Many of them. Not
I
all
had-
of them, but many of them. Some
The
don't care.
one who fucked it up for him was Bridget.
Bridget the Midget. She was on Howard Stern a lot.
She was, and what's crazy is whenever I sold magazines many years ago, it was back before DVDs were kind of getting big. Whenever I started,
I think they were all about the same size.
roughly.
Yeah.
But I one of my ploys as a door-to-door salesman, when I would tell people that I was looking for midget lesbian porn.
That was a ploy?
Mm-hmm.
You're just like knocking on the door and you're asking them for that.
Hey, man, I'm going around the neighborhood meeting everybody. I got this weird treasure hunt that I'm going for. I either need panties, underwear, or midget lesbian porn. Or you can help me with these points. And then I would go into my sales pitch. 5 years.
Was it effective?
Yeah. 5 years. Do you expect someone to you to open the door to somebody going, hey, man, I'm meeting everybody in the neighborhood because I got this contest. It's this huge treasure hunt. All right. We got to go around. We got to find as many pairs of panties, underwear, or midget lesbian porn as we possibly can. Or you have to help me with these points. You got to open up the pamphlet. Open it up. You see these pictures right here? That's how we get the points.
I think it depends upon the neighborhood that you're in. It would be how...
I did it all over the country, man. I didn't give a fuck.
You were selling magazines like that all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
What magazine were you selling?
All of
Hustler?
them, dude. Maxim? No.
Selling
We
all
actually
of them.
We didn't get fully nude magazines back until relatively close to the end of the industry itself. Because in the mid 90s, somebody pissed off the porn industry by talking a 16-year-old into stealing the money for the magazine out of his mom's purse. And then Playboy and Penthouse showed up to their house. And she wrote letters.
And that little boy was you.
No,
because he was selling
I got
them
my
nude.
porn whenever I was a kid from an Arab grocery store. I actually got suspended in 7th grade for selling individual pages from Penthouse magazines in the bathroom.
Individual
What would you
pages.
sell
That's
them
a
for?
brilliant tactic.
Yeah.
Just the regular page with a chick, 75 cents. The centerfold was $1.50.
What about the interview with Gore Vidal page?
What's buzzing?
Well, I wasn't really interested in that because I was in 7th grade and I had a newly formed boner. So
It was newly formed. It was a brand new boner.
yes, it was still pink and fresh and had not been defiled by the anus of various women.
What?
What?
That would be a defiling of a young, fresh one.
It takes an
Hey,
anus. It
It's
takes an anus. Right?
what it takes.
It used to take a village. Now it's
Not
just
that, it used to take a cheese grater, but in this day, it's something.
Whoa,
different.
whoa! What? It was not Friday the 13th. What the
or
fuck?
blood sucking freaks.
Uh-huh.
Matt,
Look,
We-
I don't know what you boomers did to masturbate with back in the day. I thought I was bad not using lube and just my dry hand. But what the fuck?
So you
cheese
had a
graters?
dry hand and you had a different hand that wasn't dry.
Well, it's called the stranger. You sit on it for a while first, and then it's like, oh wow, that's a different person.
I remember
Oh.
waking up.
The
With my arm asleep?
stranger.
I always take advantage of the stranger when I woke up sleeping on my arm wrong, and I was like, "Hey, my hand, I can't feel it," and I'm like, "Oop, better masturbate." I got the stranger.
Yeah, you see, he knows. He knows.
That's what the
Does-
Billy Joel song's about.
Does the
Matt.
stranger become Angry David?
It can, but that's Billy Joel wrote a whole song about it.
Only if the tingling wears off before you come.
Yeah,
I just like how you made tingling into a 3-syllable word.
tingling.
Yes.
Did he say tingling?
A little bit, yes. It was a little bit like that. Tingling. It's kind of like how Julie Andrews would sing a song, I think.
Guys, I think we have to
I
wrap
now
this
want to
up.
write a skit as Julie Andrews singing a song about masturbating.
Tingling, Tingling.
When I play with my hood, it's tingling.
Tingling.
Brendan is the dark now because of his family life.
Yes.
I just can't wait for Brendan to look back on this footage and actually see the look on his wife's face when she came and whacked him across the back of the head.
Oh my God.
How hard did she hit you anyway?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 3.
Okay, not so hard.
That would
But-
be a 10 to me though, because I've never been in a fight. Brendan's like had many fist fights in his life at bars.
With his wife?
No, with other people. He's been hit much harder. But to me, that would probably be a 10. I'd be like, God.
You're making it sound like
Brendan.
Brendan is in
Back,
constant
like the
fights or
people
something.
who have hit him harder, he could hit back. The only thing he can do is go give his wife a tingling, and then
A
hope that's
tingling.
enough
Tingling.
to soothe her angry David.
Yeah.
So he'll have to
Mr.
go.
Mr. Gwinn is not wrong.
Needs to soothe the angry David. Well, so we had a client at one point that we occasionally would say something about. That was We're All Narcissists.
We
And
did
in
our
this-
other client very well, though, the rum client. We
I
definitely did.
I still have
Do it right
liquid
now.
in here.
You only
this
have a
one-
few minutes.
I have it
Get
in
it
here as
done.
well.
Do
Get
it.
done.
I'm just like not kind of paying attention to time at the moment. I think that's what's been one of the effects of the alcohol is it's caused me to be a little less professional with our guest to a certain extent. But not that I'm like highly professional to begin with.
Yeah, normally you're like,
And what the fuck do you think? I'm professional? Jesus, have you not heard my podcast? There's hundreds of episodes.
we've been on your
Um,
podcast.
aware.
Unfortunately,
thoroughly
and
unprofessional.
both Greg and Brendan have taken me to task for this. I don't actually listen to podcasts.
That's funny.
Because he's a narcissist.
Because
He
yeah,
feels that he
exactly.
can make a podcast and not listen to anyone else's podcast. 'cause he's a
I don't-
That's
I
why
don't-
he thinks everybody else is a narcissist because it makes it feel better about himself.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Something bad's about to happen.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, maybe we should wrap this up.
Well, no, that actually was a good ending there. She just kissed him on the cheek and walked
Oh, I
out.
missed that. I wasn't looking at
Yeah,
Brendan,
she
so-
came in. I was expecting something else a little more dire to happen, like
Yeah.
a baseball bat across
Well, she
the
knows
head.
now that she hit him, she's gonna get the tingling. So
Matt was expecting a halberd involved.
Tingaling, tingaloo,
I-
got this-
tingalai, tingala.
I
you just
I don't know.
reminded me of Rooster Cogburn for some reason.
That's Greg's favorite song,
I don't even know what song you were singing.
Rooster from Alice in Chains.
Oh, yes. That's a good
yeah,
one.
well,
That is a good
down
song.
the rooster.
Rooster! Rooster!
I thought you were talking
Rooster!
about the Rooster Cogburn song. I was like, man,
That's a
Well,
good
I
one, too.
shortened it to
it's
just
a good song to
Rooster.
whistle.
Yeah, I don't know that John Wayne actually sang that particular song. I
I
think
have
he
a John
sung
Wayne
things.
album, actually.
Well, no, that's not the Rooster Cogburn song. I can't remember no, it's what the fuck is that asshole's name from Robin Hood, the Disney version of it?
Roger Miller.
The Fox?
No, the fucking rooster.
Oh,
Roger
that's
Miller.
Roger Miller.
The fox
Miller.
is the was
Oh,
it?
yeah, you're singing that song. from
Roger Miller
Remember.
was,
Doodle-la,
Alan
doodle-la,
He
Adele.
whistles that fucking song.
Doodle-la, 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 lay. That one?
Yeah, it was
no,
Roger
the one
Miller
where
who
he
does
whistles.
King of the Road.
Whatever, motherfuckers, I'm gonna be murdered shortly.
You just got a kiss, though. Was that the kiss of death, like a mafia movie?
Yes,
It's like
yes.
That was like Don Corleone.
Yeah, no. That was mafia. That,
That
was
was-
total mafia stuff. Oh,
That was I'm waiting for the tingling.
oh, hold
Is there-
on.
Is there a donkey head? on your phone?
I gotta go. I seriously, I gotta go.
Yeah,
all right,
you
well,
do.
why
Yeah, you do.
don't we end things off, everybody? This is a perfect opportunity to say thank you very much to Matt Gwinn with the Adventures of the Albino Rhino for
Thanks,
joining
Matt.
us on a
Yeah, bud.
very, very unusual episode of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker, where our client learned that we are all narcissists because we spent hardly any time talking about the client.
And even though she's my sister, I think tonight we should end with thanks Sherry. Sorry, Maria.
Who's Sherry?
Who gave us the rum?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm
We
no
can say
idea.
thanks, Sherry, or we can
Thanks,
say
Sherry.
thanks,
And thanks,
Holly,
Maria.
for letting Brendan last this long.
And if anybody wants to check out my stuff, we have a new website address.
Yeah.
That covers everything. All you have to do is type in internationaltigerpenis.com.
Okay,
So
I
that's
have
the
to
website.
take issue with that. Actually, I clicked on that link and I got nothing, and then I actually
Type
put
it
it.
in right now.
I
Type
put it in
right now.
HTTP.
It now works.
I did it before we started the show, man.
Did you get weird tiger porn when you
Internationaltigerpenis.com
typed that
totally
in?
works.
It didn't work for me here in Oregon, buddy,
That is
Big-
weird.
because I put a whole thing on Facebook about it. That
seriously,
I
I gotta go.
He's gotta go.
I'm about to be murdered. I have to go. Bye.
he's
Bye.
about to be murdered.
Bye, Brendan. Good luck.
We loved him while he was alive, but yeah, it says the site cannot be reached.
Safari can't find the server. Weird. Well, I'm gonna have to fix that again. God damn it. Well, so go to albinorhino.me. I mean, that's where it directs you to anyway.
Yeah, I'm in Oregon, so yeah.
Did you guys see right before he signed off, his wife just came in with a mace. That was horrible.
All right, well, I'm
Probably.
Thank you very much, man. So
Yep.
thanks, Sherry, for the rum.
Thanks, Sherry.
Even though
And still thanks,
neither Matt Gwinn nor Greg got any.